Hello guys, today we'll be doing trig equation with the math specialist for grade 10s. Okay, trig equations are very simple, actually very easy, not really that complicated. You just need to know some few steps. For step number one, you must know how to isolate your trig ratio. So some few things could be a trig ratio. So let me just give you an example of a trig ratio. For example, sine theta is a trig ratio, tan theta is a trig ratio, and also cos theta is also another trig ratio. Okay, so another way they actually present your trig ratios is they could say sine 2 theta. Okay, that's a trig ratio. Or they could say tan of theta plus 1. That's another trig ratio. Okay, so these are different ways that they can present your trig ratio, especially in your test and your exams. Okay, for step number two, you use your reference angle. I'll show you your reference angle in a bit. It's kind of a little bit complicated to just tell you, but you'll see it. And then step number three is simple. Then you solve for theta. Okay, so let's just try on an example and just do one example of what we were talking about. Okay, remember what I said. I said the first step you must isolate your trig ratio. So we have an example here. We have our example number one. It says that solve for theta. So we're going to solve for theta for this one. For number one here, we're about to solve for theta. Okay, I said isolate the trig ratio. So first thing you need to identify your trig ratio. For me, this is my trig ratio. See, cos of theta is my trig ratio. So I must isolate it. That means I must take my negative half to the other side. Okay, so when I take my negative half to the other side, this is what happens. It changes its sign to positive 1 over 2. Okay, it's no longer negative, now it's positive. So now I said you must do your reference angle. So this is what you do when you do your reference angle. Okay, you just do a cos of a negative sign, negative 1 rather, of your cos of theta, which is equals to also what you do on the left, you must also do on the right, your cos of negative 1 of 1 over 2, just like that. Okay, so on this side, on your left side, this cos of exponent negative will cancel out this cos, and what you will remain with is theta, which is equals to what's on the other side. Then now you'll basically just do the last part, which is now solving for your theta. Now you just use your calculator. Make sure you press your shift first, then you press cos, then you press 1 over 2, then you press equals to, then you will get your answer just like that. Get your answer. Let me fix my calculator for a minute here. Okay, I'll be doing cos of inverse 1 over 2 is equals to, you will get 60 degrees. Okay, just like that. Seems simple. I agree. It's simple enough. You don't have to really overthink it. Okay, so let's do number 2. Remember what I said. I said you must first isolate your trig ratio. So what's your trig ratio here? You see, this will be your trig ratio. Okay, that's your trig ratio right there. So you must isolate that. Make sure it's on the left alone. So we're gonna take our negative 3 to the other side, and also we must deal with 1 over 2 here. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Basically, we're gonna do math. So by taking 3 to the other side, it turns its sign. So we'll have 1 over 2 tan 2x is equals to, now negative 3 becomes 3. So how do you get rid of the 1 over 2? Your 1 over 2. You can divide both sides by 1 over 2. Divide both sides by 1 over 2. Then you will have tan of 2x is equals to 3 divided by 1 over 2. Okay, just press your calculator to get the answer for that. 3 divided by 1 over 2. Okay, you get 6. So you have tan of 2x is equals to 6. Okay, now remember what I told you about trig ratio. I showed you at the last part that something like this, it's actually your trig ratio. So you have isolated your trig ratio. So what are you going to do now? you are basically gonna do your tan of inverse of this whole thing, and also your, sorry, let me just erase that so I can have more space in my 6. Tan of -1 of 6. Okay, then you go on. I said this one, I said this tan of inverse will cancel out this tan. You only be left with 2x. 2x will be the only thing that remains. 2x is equals to tan inverse of 6. And you just use your calculator. Actually, don't use your calculators yet, because if you use your calculators yet, you might get a long answer which you might still need to write down, and that's going to give you a problem. So now let's just solve for theta. Okay, now we're solving for x because now we're using x, not theta. So let's just solve for x. We're going to divide both sides 2. 2 will cancel 2. X will be equals to whatever remains on the other side. So I'm going to press this in my calculator just like that. Over 2 is equals to 40,27, converting it to 2 decimal places. So you're going to get a long number basically, and make sure you convert it to 2 decimal places. Okay, let's just take a last question before we finish up. Okay, remember, it still applies. Isolate your trig ratio. What's your trig ratio? This is your trig ratio. Okay, now you're going to isolate that trig ratio on the left. Make sure it's alone on the left. So you're going to have 2 cos of x plus 10. You're about to take that 1 to the other side. The other side already had 2,356. This one, when you're taking it to the other side, becomes -1. Okay, you already dealt with that one. So now you continue. Remember, you still need to isolate your trig ratio. Your trig ratio still has another thing, which is your 2 right here. So you're just going to divide both sides by 2. Divide the whole thing by 2. 2 will cancel out this 2. You will remain with cos of x plus 10, which is equals to, you use your calculator on the other side to get the answer. Cannot be that bad, I think. Just use your calculator to get your answer divided by 2. And you're going to get 309 over 500. Okay, just write it like that to help you. Okay, now you're going to take your reference angle shift. So there's an easier way to just do that. Okay, they will understand in your tests why you did that. You just take this cos to the other side and it has a negative on top. Okay, this is what you're going to do. The easier way. So you will be left with x plus 10 is equals to cos. You're taking it to the other side. It has a -1 at the top. Then you open your bracket. You write 339 over 500. Close your bracket. Then you continue on solving. Now you have to solve the part where you need to solve for x. So you need to solve for your x. You'll take 10 to the other side. You'll take this 10 to the other side. Okay, so it's going to be -10. You'll have x is equals to cos of inverse, which is 339 divided by 500. Close bracket, then minus 10. Then you just use your calculator just like that to get your answer. So just gonna use your calculators just like that just to get your answer, and you will be done, and your answer will be 37,31, converting it to 2 decimal places degrees. Okay, thank you very much for watching the video until the end. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe. Just do what you need to do to make sure we see